Alright, I'm back. I had to use the bathroom and hit the bong, and quite frankly, I've just kind of been winging these shows because I don't have an audience. I'm not making money. Not yet. I have a full-time job, and I'm just happy to do this once a week during my days off. So, but anyway, one segment that's really easy, and it's kind of like a throwback for me, is I go to Reddit and I give people advice answering their questions and their statements. Same way I used to on Yahoo Answers before that got taken away. But first, we're going to go to dating. Submitted by random girl named Kat. Am I the only person who hates when guys ask for nudes but don't send in return? Like, how do you want to see me naked but make up every excuse in the damn book to why you can't send one right now? You don't care if I'm not shaved, but care when you're not shaved. It doesn't work like that, buddy. Matter of fact, don't ask for nudes at all. See me in person first. Alright, well, Kat, I think you got the right idea at the end there. You know, you really shouldn't send nudes to someone through your phone, to someone you haven't seen in person, because if it's a catfish, you could get in serious trouble, or worse, you know, there are instances where scammers will just create fake accounts, and then they sext you in an attempt to get nudes, and granted, I think men become victim to this more than women do. I could be wrong, but I feel like men are more likely to get duped by this kind of thing, to where they just send nudes to the person they're texting, and then find out after that, guess what? If, fork up $100 or $500 or whatever the amount is on my Venmo or whatever it is, I'm going to post this online for everyone to see. So, no one, I repeat, no one should ever send nudes to someone else online that they haven't met in person. You know, unfortunately, it's still even risky to just even text that to someone you know in case they decide to be malicious. Because anything that's on the internet, once it's there, it's there. Like, even if it's deleted, it's out there, it's findable. But there are people out there that will take pictures, take nudes from Snapchat, Omegle. They can screenshot it, or they can film it if it's a certain platform, and post it to Pornhub, and while Pornhub has gotten better at finding content like that and getting it removed, it'll still get viewed by many before it goes down, potentially. So, you should hate when guys ask for nudes. And it's not about the fact that they don't send it in return. You shouldn't send them nudes. Because you could send them in the wrong hands, and you could be blackmailed to spend a lot of money to avoid embarrassment. So I encourage you to avoid making that mistake. So, alright, next. We have, my friend's dad died. She's living paycheck to paycheck and got no real credit. This guy she's been seeing for a couple months paid for her flight back to Zimbabwe, accommodation Zimbabwe. Footed part of the funeral bill and just took care of her in the last 24 hours. Good men do exist. Alright, cool. I was expecting something juicy, but she just described it all in the bio, so I'll move on. Alright, next. Am I the asshole for telling my wife I don't care about her dreams? Yeah. Look, okay. Alright, I might have jumped to conclusions here. It goes on to say, my wife wants to be an influencer on TikTok and YouTube. She's been creating mommy content and content about her day-to-day life. when she told me this is something she wanted to do, I didn't have a problem with it. I only said that I don't want our children, 4 male, 2 female, in any of her content. I didn't monitor her channel because it didn't really seem necessary. I recently watched it because I thought it would be cute, so see what she does in her day-to-day life. I found her children's faces in almost all of her content. I told her straight up she needs to remove all her content. She said that she knew I wouldn't agree, but she doesn't think this is a big deal. I don't like children content. I feel like a lot of the time when you see that children make profit, they become less of your kids and more of a product, and your interactions become more performative, and I can see the same thing has happened to her because she posted a video of her getting our 2-year-old out of a tantrum and how she deals with it. But how is your first instinct to record and hold a camera while our baby is crying? Okay, blah, 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 blah. Guess she got defensive. And the poster went on to say that he'd even consider divorce over this if it's not deleted. But I mean, dude, I don't know what the problem is, what you're so paranoid about as far as children being online. I mean, they're fully clothed, right? Home videos used to be a thing, and granted, I think the whole influencer on TikTok thing is freaking stupid, and I hate that people are making a living off of this crap, and I still have to do manual labor. Well, manage people who do it and help them sometimes, but for my day job. But I hate that there are people out there who are living comfortably just off these stupid influencer jobs. But if people are but I don't feel like this is the whole point. I thought you just weren't going to support her dreams because you thought that was stupid. And if that was it, I'd agree with you. But it sounds to me like you just have a problem with you two's kids being included in it. I don't see how that's any different from kids being in a yearbook photo at a school. Being pictured, whatever. What's the worst that can happen? They're under your care, right? They don't have identities that can be stolen. You'll protect them from any predators. Your address isn't included on there, is it? I feel like you're just being paranoid. And I think you kind of are the asshole here, dude. Yeah, dumb. Alright. Next. Am I the asshole for telling my best friend I wasn't attending his wedding? Alright, I'll try to condense this. These posts, man, a lot longer than the Yahoo Answers ones used to be. Okay, guy's 32 and his best friend is 32. They've been friends since they were babies, basically family. After college, they both moved back home to live at home and get their feet underneath them. His friend started dating a woman, she's 35, they're 32, whatever. Lovely girl around 4.5 years ago. From the get-go, she seemed to politely dislike him. I don't know, oh well, c'est la vie. But friend, Alex, and Stella moved across the country in 2021, and Stella earned a promotion at work. 2022, Alex proposed, said yes. Wedding date, end of September 2023. Original poster here got a save the date card at the beginning of the year. And at the beginning, based on conversations he had with his best friend Alex, he assumed he would be in the wedding party one way or the other, but never received any official confirmation from either of them. A couple months before the wedding, saw that wedding invitations went out on social media and figured his was en route, never came. Waited a couple weeks, figured it might have just gotten lost in the mail before I checked in with him. So he called Alex, had a brief conversation with him where he was clearly agitated, said he was dealing with a lot, would be incommunicado. What? Is that some hipster douche way of saying you can't talk for a while? Be incommunicado for the near future. To direct any wedding-related questions to Stella, the fiance. And he'd call me when things cooled off. So called, texted, emailed Stella over the course of the week. But oh, guess what? She didn't respond to any of them. So at this point, OP, the original poster, figured he wouldn't be attending the wedding and that things were really fucked up for some reason between the two of them. But then, yesterday, over 3 weeks after the last conversation, I guess Alex DM'd him asking if he's free to chat. And he did, and after exchanging pleasantries, Alex jumped into a spiel saying that he knew I was super busy with work and dealing with a lot of personal stuff, but he'd love it if I could attend his wedding, even just as a guest, and wanted to know if there was anything he could do to make that happen. And OP just blurted out that I'd love to, but hadn't received an invitation. Alex stared blankly at me and said, "What?" And I just kind of vomit out that I hadn't received an invitation. That was the reason I'd called him a few weeks ago. That I'd contacted Stella about it, but she never got back to me and left me on red. And that I had no idea that what he was talking about, me dealing with too much to be involved in the wedding. After a very pregnant pause, he said he needed to go sort things out and that he'd call me when it was done. My phone's blowing up the fuck up since with wedding attendees asking me what happened and why the wedding might be off now. OP's girlfriend has reaffirmed to him that he did nothing wrong, but I've had people from all sides saying I stuck my nose where it didn't belong and caused a stink, which is really fucking with my head. Am I the asshole? No. Not at all. He was being an asshole to you. I mean, if you two were best friends since diapers, you should be a groomsman. And he just was like, "Oh, I'm stressed. I just can't talk to you at all." Look, we're all adults. The only people without problems are dead people. Like, the hell kind of excuse is that to ignore you for 3 weeks? Like, "Oh, just go talk to my fiance who never liked you to begin with." So, sounds to me like she just conveniently didn't invite you to the wedding because she doesn't like you. And for what it's worth, at least your friend called her out on that. It sounds like he might be getting out of something which he shouldn't be marrying. It sounds to me like he has no business marrying this bitch. So, good. You're not the asshole, and if you are the asshole, you're doing it with good reason. But yeah, a couple minutes left in this segment, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm really not. I don't have anything else to talk about, and no one's really listening anyway. So, yeah, I'll get back to this again next week. So, haven't heard the last of me. I'll be back.